Welcome once again to the Ben Pixels weekly upload. It is the first week of March 2017. I'm Sam.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're here to do some reporting on the stories of the week.
Yeah.
All right. We are doing this live from Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to join us every Friday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are going to get regulated, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this loosey-goosiness that is entirely my fault. So that's the thing. We're going to start doing this on the regular at 11:30. We decided that was the right time. Gives us enough to gather all the stories. If there's any late breaking news that tends to happen sometimes on Fridays. But if you're new to this stream or if this is the first time you're watching this video, we cover all the social video news of the day. We have Lisa, our intrepid camera person, the chat moderator. Say hello, Lisa.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo. We might get her in front of camera one of these days.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. So we got to level up before then. We got to earn some experience
definitely.
points. Kevin, you gathered a couple stories for
Yeah.
us from YouTube and Twitch this week. Obviously, there's a lot of stories that happen like over the course of a week in digital media. You know, whether you're covering Twitch or YouTube or Twitter or any of these places, pretty much anywhere where you might watch video. That's what we like to cover on this show, and we like it to be interactive. So in the comments, if Lisa notices that you're throwing some shade or throwing some praise, she will call it out, and we will respond to it. Also, if you are following us on YouTube, we're very responsive in the comments there. We like to hear from our communities. We like to hear from the people. With that said, Kevin, what's our lead story for today?
Our lead story today is YouTube TV.
YouTube television?
Yeah.
I thought YouTube was supposed to destroy television. What's happening here?
I don't know, but it's just something, they got something up their sleeve and it's going to be crazy.
All right.
It's going to be big. It's going to be really, really huge and big.
So YouTube TV is a paid subscription service that streams a lot of new premium broadcast and cable networks to your mobile device. It's going to be $35 a month. And they're going to have content from more than 40 different providers. Yeah. So this is ESPN. There's a giant list of it on Wired.com. This is where we're getting the story. Actually, I'm going to click on that link because I want to know it. But tell us a little bit more about it, Kevin.
So basically it's just they are trying to go for the cord cutter generation. And my family is big cord cutters in terms of not trying to go with cable and kind of, having more of a choice. And YouTube TV is giving more of a choice. They're wanting to compete with PlayStation View and DirecTV and other things like that. So basically, the program is going to be $35 a month, and it gets you 6 accounts and access to live TV for more than 40 providers, which is really good.
Well, I want to list some of the names. We're talking other big ABC, NBC, Fox are on board, but MTV and CNN are not yet.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because MTV is going to try and make bigger plays to their own digital content.
Yeah.
So this to me says the traditional networks are, like you said, trying to hit that cord cutter generation.
Yeah.
I'm technically excited because USA, I believe, is a part of this deal, and they air wrestling every Monday night. And so I'm always looking, because the WWE Network, the OTT service they offer wrestling fans, is they just unleashed their variable pricing on bundles. They went over 1.5 million subscribers recently. This is a little sub-story I'm burying underneath. But what's interesting about it is that they're unable to show the live broadcast because of their contracts with places like USA that broadcast Raw. So it's interesting that you see USA like, okay, we're not going to let Raw be broadcast anywhere on their network because they still need to keep that advertising money. It's a big ratings winner for them. But then to see them be a part of this YouTube skinny bundle essentially is very intriguing to me. Mm-hmm. So you're part of the cord cutting generation they're talking about, Kevin.
Yeah. Our family we love it just because prices is hard with a lot of things, so we always just we have to find ways to save. So somebody is helping pay for Netflix and other stuff in that regard. Other times, one of us has YouTube Red or other things like that. And it's just always good because it's more choice, and it's really cool that YouTube TV is like throwing their hat into the competition with that.
I think it's like the question of access, and so it's not that people don't not want to watch this content. They do. It's just that for so long it's been the realm of a single company. You know, like when you go through to buy your cable package and your internet, you're often sort of tethered to whoever is your service provider in that area. You know, some people have Comcast, other people have AT&T, and some people don't have choices in a lot of cases. So this just gives more options, and it forces the cable companies to be more competitive with what they're going to offer to try and counteract this. I also am excited because, this shows kind of a continuity that they're willing to push. There was a part in the story where they said that YouTube spent 2 years trying to pull this together. So you could almost feel like when all the earnings news came out about, is YouTube making money? Is YouTube losing money? Are they losing their influencers or not? I almost feel like you could, now that you heard this story, it's like you see YouTube like, we just got to hold on. We got to hold on until we announce the TV. Because I think that it is engaging. CBS is, doing their own kind of online thing as well. Reportedly landed its first partner in October when CBS signed on for the skinny bundle. So, everybody's trying to figure out how they can generate that income off of that lost audience. Do you watch broadcast TV? Is there anything that you still would like to catch on broadcast you don't get?
I watch a lot of Suits, actually. With my twin brother, yeah. So I watch a lot of Suits. That's one of our favorite
Big
shows.
fan of Burn Notice at all?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, these are the shows that came on again after wrestling. USA Network, obviously, characters welcome.
I
Here.
remember they used to show the old Street Fighter cartoon.
Oh, yeah, the Saturday morning? Yeah. So, anyway.
So just so you guys know, commentary from the viewers.
Yeah.
We have a comment from Almighty Shade. Happy to have some more options.
Okay.
That seems to be the prevailing view from you guys and also from the viewers.
It's not a question about the content quality. It's just like, it's access, and it's feeling like you had to sign on. Like you were saying, like there's a lot of households that they have to split up. I know in our house, we have Amazon Prime that we pay for shipping. We have Hulu, we have Netflix, and so they all add up to eventually we're sort of paying the amount that you would be paying, but just for a cable package in the past, right?
Sure.
Even now that's totally changed.
And
but
HBO Now, you need your HBO Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Great service, but it's like another $14.99.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 14. Yeah, at least that's exactly right. And also that the fact that they acknowledge in the packaging prices, like gives access to 6 different users, and you can stream simultaneously from I think 3 different devices. So they know what's going on. I mean, in terms of how people utilize passwords and accounts, it's inevitable, right? But it's more about. I think it's this sort of like threshold, right? Like if you have enough people that are using the service, even if they, like spread that information around, you're still going to generate income that you would not have otherwise. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to seeing if they're going to release the TV streaming numbers. Like how they've kind of kept YouTube Red under wraps, right? Like we don't know analytics on YouTube Red yet, really. They keep that close to their chest. I'm wondering if they're going to tout the success of YouTube TV because of the network partners involved, and they want to be seen as like, we made a smart choice. Maybe to try and attract the remaining like MTVs of the world that haven't come on board yet. So check out Wired.com for that, and let us know in the comments. Yeah, I mean, is it about content? Is it about choice? What else would you like to see them do? Because this might also change the UI for YouTube in a lot of ways in terms of discovery. So very, very interesting. What's our next story here, Kevin?
The next story is Twitch will start selling games and giving its streamers a cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm streaming Overwatch or if I'm streaming, they can just buy it right from there.
Yeah, but only a few partners have, and a few companies have signed on just yet. I don't think anyone like Blizzard or Valve have done it yet.
Interesting.
Which is because those are usually the biggest ones that are streaming, like Counter-Strike, Overwatch, League of Legends. They haven't did it yet, but a lot of them, especially some indie developers, have already started doing it. Some people, it's really been cool because developers are gonna get some type of cut from that too.
Yeah. Partnered streamers will get 5% of the sale originating on their channel, while 70% goes to the game creator, the publisher. They will purchases through the service will come with a Twitch crate, which is a random selection of emotes, badges, and bits. So this is like digital swag, essentially, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much it's another way. Like bits are another way to sort of cheer and sort of show support for the streamer that you follow and are a fan of too.
Yeah. So actually, this is a system that maybe you know more about than I do, but I've heard like from several podcasts that I listen to that they're like, oh, use our Twitch code, or like spend your like subscription code here or something. Like, can you explain like what bits are and what they're talking about with that?
Well,
like,
bits are basically, it's just another way, in addition to just subscribing to a streamer on Twitch, you can also just show support by buying bits of varying currency of size, which is basically money but converted into its cryptocurrency.
Is this Bitcoin happening all over again, Kevin?
Somewhat,
what is happening
somewhat. It's sort of their own currency that you can just show support.
Okay, so it's sort of like you're filling up your digital. Man, I am looking like not in touch, but so you're filling up your digital wallet essentially of like here's some stuff, but it's not money. You're not spending money. You're spending bits.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But I like the idea that the currency is like the bonus if you buy the game or something like that. Just to give people some love. Anything else coming through, Lise?
Yeah, we have some support for that initiative. That,
Okay.
It'll help indie devs gain exposure and give support for the streamers as well.
Yeah.
So commiserate with this, I think, is because what you talk about indie games, and I agree. So I do follow indie gaming a lot. If I'm not like a Twitch guy and I'm not like a competitive dude, I do follow games. Like, trust me, I'm on Giant Bomb every single day. You know, you should be following here because I'm going to talk about the things I'm passionate about for games. But you know, A Night in the Woods just came out, and that was I believe, like a Kickstarter campaign that got that game off the ground. And the Nintendo Switch is going, I think, out this week or at the end of the week, public. So that they were talking about that indie developers are really going to benefit from platforms like this new Twitch thing, like the Nintendo Switch, because Switch hasn't gotten third-party publishers on board yet to make games. You know, they have their own in-house stuff, the Nintendo stuff, but there was a talk on one of the shows I listened to that the indie community could really use the Switch as a way of getting their games out there because they're usually very simple graphically. Mm-hmm. You can pretty much put it on anything, phone, computer, console. So I think with the Twitch stuff, I'd like to see a wider variety of games being played. If this means that Twitch streamers that are looking to make money are now kind of forced to like, okay, well, let's go through all the new releases. Like, they might give more types of games a chance, and those games that would not get highlighted by larger outlets could get a place to get it. Yeah. I like that. I like that in terms of the kind of indie spirit of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to support indie devs whenever I can. I remember one of the first like indie games I ever bought was this game called, I think it was called VVVVVV.
Yes. That's where you could control the gravity? Yeah, it's this really, it looks like an Atari game. Like, it's very simple graphical presentation, but like it was all these kind of like jumping puzzles and stuff like that.
It was really fun. It was one of the most challenging games I've ever had to play, just because growing up with old NES games, it was always hard to play. They're way more difficult back then than they are now, but that was really good.
I wonder too if the people are always also talking about like sponsorships and integrations and things like that, right? Like, game developers especially want to get their games in the hands of these larger streamer personalities. Do you think that this is going to affect that marketplace at all, potentially? That like, well, I'll just generate whatever I get. If I'm streaming this indie game, I'll just get my whatever cut. Or, you know, if I'm streaming this larger title, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it'll cut into it or affect that?
I think it'll affect it in a way where it'll be better, in a sense where now you're going to see different types of streamers they're going to go out their way looking for sort of the next cool game. Cool indie game, in the sense where, you know, because if everyone's going to be playing the sort of same game, which is going to be good, they kind of want to do something more unique.
That's actually a really interesting point I hadn't thought about. So usually it's like it goes the other way around. Like, this game's going to be really popular. I better play it because I want to be one of the many people playing this game. Instead, we could maybe invert that relationship and be more about, you want to follow me because I am doing these games that nobody else is playing, or I'm going to become an expert at it and you want to check it out. So yeah, that's actually quite a big announcement as well from Twitch. And then the final story that we're covering today is YouTube says people now watch 1 billion hours of video every single day. I'm not too surprised, to be honest with you. Like, as the mass of the platform grows, so does the watch time. According to YouTube's official blog, YouTube says people now watch 1 billion hours of video every single day. It was previously reported the company surpassed 500 million hours per day back in 2015 and 300 million back in 2014. So this is actually quite an exponential growth if you take their numbers to heart.
Yeah, and it's really cool because it just shows that, you know, more people are integrating YouTube into their lives. Like, I mean, even me, there's not a single day where I don't go on YouTube and just spend hours looking for tips on stuff or watching stuff. It's really cool that it's like integrated into my family life, everything. There's, you know, I don't have too much time for certain things, but I always have some time to watch stuff on YouTube.
Interesting.
It's fun.
Well, because you can put it on your mobile, right?
Yeah.
And I think too, like the services that they're offering right now with Red, where you can just like listen to the audio. I see this happening a lot more too. Is like, in fact, one of our brand new comedy partner, Bill Burr, check out his official channel on YouTube. He always posts his new podcasts on YouTube and getting really great views, starting to really grow. So if you like Bill Burr, make sure to check out his official channel on YouTube. We're happy to have him on board, obviously. But I'm seeing more people doing that, where they'll put the whole archives of their podcasts or video streams on YouTube. And so I think that also kind of contributes to this exponential growth. Yeah. Because like you said, you feel like certain shows are like appointment viewing, right? Or like you got to sit down, you want to ingest it, you want to fix yourself a drink or a sandwich, and you want to like watch your favorite programs or a movie. But for YouTube, the viewing experience is very passive sometimes. It's something that maybe you have on in the background. I know I do it sometimes at work if I'm doing something like organizing a spreadsheet. Okay, plug in a YouTube video and I'll be watching something from one of our partners or you know, somebody in the industry. So I think it's just when the ease of watching it is so simple, like I think that's where you get that growth.
And the YouTube algorithm is also amazing because it finds you new things to engage you and keep you watching, and finds you other things to follow, other channels to follow.
Yeah, it's kind of a never-ending beast. I end up, and it's a trickle-down thing, right? Because sometimes the first suggestion doesn't really do much for you. If you haven't done it yet, and actually pro tip, if you don't curate what you're not interested in, you will continue to get served things that you don't really care about on YouTube. So I'm very vigilant about that. It's why I don't get served, you know, certain vloggers. Not that I don't like them. It's just like that's not the content I consume, you know. So it's like I like to, if I see something, I go, I just don't want to see this on my home feed. I just go bloop bloop bloop. And as long as you're dedicated, you know, you can curate your feeds. I think it's also important. Another pro tip out there, and maybe we'll close with this, is be a good subscriber. A lot of the times, the channels that you subscribe to, you know, they don't click on the little bell. They don't like stay engaged with the channel past a certain point. If you're subscribed, I think the channels really want to see their subscribers come back within like the 48 hours after they post a video. Even if you only check in for like, you know, a minute or two just to like see some of it. I would just say be a good subscriber, be a good citizen of YouTube, because these channels that work really hard that are on these lower rungs, they need that retention from the audience that says that they're subscribed to you in order to get that boost, in order to get that raise up, to get to the next level. And I just wanted to say that on behalf of like everybody in our community and other communities. This like, that's the big thing that people are talking about, is like, how am I sure that my subscribers are seeing my videos? So anyway, I'm sorry, I felt like I talked quite a bit for this edition.
You've been good.
Yeah, but you know, Kevin, you do all that hard research, and you're bringing the fire every time.
Oh, thank you. No, but it's been a very eventful week, you know, with just everything happening with Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Absolutely. All right, well, I can't either, so that's all for today's weekly upload. And again, comment on the stories that we talked about, and we can't wait to see you again next week.